Hello everybody. So I've got another door hanger here for Miss Lori. It is Life is Better on the Beach. It has some waves, some palm trees, and some birds. So what I figured I would do, because you guys don't ever really see me prying the boards or my pieces, I'm going to show you how I'm doing that. So first thing I do when I'm prepping is grab my tape. Oh, right here. So I will pick out what needs 2 coats, what needs 1 coat, which most of this we're going to just do this bottom part of the waves, that's going to be 2 coats, and then everything else will be 1. But I'm also going to make sure I add our letters in a line. Typically I'll just put them straight across, but we're going to do some cool ombreing with these, and so I want to make sure that we get it about right on our work, on our letters here. These ones can be close here. I'm going to need more tape. I did not get enough. And kind of get that close together there. So there we go. And we'll get our R here. Oh, right here is where that guy went. Okay, so rip that off. And then the beach part, because it is below it, I'm going to try and mimic where we ombre at here below. So I'm kind of watching where my colors are going to kind of end up, and it's going to be where the F and the E are. Okay. Okay, right here. Alright, so then I'm going to take the beach part, and make sure that we get this kind of added in right where we want it. Here. I know a little bit of wasted tape, but hey, it's just tape. Okay. That should be good enough to support it all. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside for the moment. Alright, and then these little pieces are going to be black. And when I've got just little pieces like that, it's so much easier to just use the roller and paint them real quick. So we're going to get these birds, tape them on. And here. Okay, and then this is such a large piece, I'm not going to really tape it. Let me get this here. Alrighty, so we got our letters done. And then I'm going to actually just do a stain over the top of this, like the baby white method. So I'm going to stick that over here. We'll go ahead and get my roller for here. I always put these in the gallon Ziploc bags, and like I said, this isn't going to need, I'm just doing one quick coat up here. The waves, we are going to do 2 coats because they're going to pretty much just all be white. We're going to throw in just a little bit of shading of the teal, but other than that, we're going to let those be. So if you look at ocean waves, that's kind of what we're trying to go for. The color is really going to be on this sign, our letters. That's what's going to make them pop. Okay. And that first roller, especially with the birch, it's going to absorb quite a bit. so you're not going to see it. We may have to do 2 coats of this, okay? All right, I'm going to sit this over here, and then okay, and then let's see. So then with my paint roller, oh, I guess I got to do the letters too. Sorry. So these ones, just a quick coat of primer is all we need here. And this is just leftover paint that I have had on the roller that I'm using. When you first start out, you're going to kind of get quite a bit on there. And then after that, it kind of just has it. A lot of the time when I'm doing small pieces like this, I really don't even have to wet my roller. And I'll use this roller multiple times before changing it. Okay, that is done. So I'm going to throw the roller in here. I take the bag, I kind of poof it up a little bit so the roller itself doesn't get smushed. And then I just take one of the, you guys know I love those dollar store pink clips. Put one of those on and it's good to go. I just twist it around and clip it onto the roller. Okay, so that one will slide up here on my paint. Tower here. Okay, and then our black here. This one might need some because I've used a lot of the black in here, but we'll see what we can get. And then, like I said, because of the birch, it's going to absorb that first coat really good. So it will need a second coat, but it should dry really fast because boy is it hot today. Okay. Grab a plate here real quick. And when I'm loading the brush with paint, grab my black. I'll also go through the paint colors of what we're doing in a second, but I wanted to show you prep a little bit. Get those kind of dried a little bit more. So I just kind of load it on, roll it back and forth on my plate, and then just use the white foam roller and I think they're 4-inch, and roll them on there. And I've been doing this for easily a year or 2 now. It makes life so much easier. Same thing again. And the air is just nice because it makes it like a little cushion so it doesn't smush the roller. Okay, I'm going to move these rollers out of the way. Okay, and so we can save a plate here, I'm going to grab a baby wipe and just wipe up the black that we have. Okay. Hey Brian, I just realized I forgot to get water. Do you mind grabbing me water? No, for the paint brushes. No, I have water here. Mm-hmm. Okay guys, here we go. Next step, let's get our base done. But I'll also go through our colors as well. Okay. So, for our lake area and sky, I'm going to be doing lake blue. We're going to do surfboard, blue jay, and blue Danube. And I might mix how we're going to throw those in a little different ways, but it should look awesome. Thanks, babe. Okay. So I'm going to throw this, oh, the other colors. Palomino green, electric lime. That's going to be for our palm tree leaves. For the palm tree and the sand, I've got territorial beige, bamboo, and trail tan. And then for the colors of our letters, what I said is going to really make it pop, we're going to do bright yellow, fuchsia, pumpkin, pansy, and then I'm going to mix in some of these colors as well. So we got quite a full palette here. We're going to go that way, that one, and then probably the blue jay or the lake. Maybe lake, actually. Now looking. Anyways, we'll get to that. Let's get our colors down. Goodness. That was lake. This one is surfboard. That's next. Okay. This is blue Danube. And then the next one is blue jay. Okay. Hi. We got somebody staring at the window. All right, so then I am going to go ahead and start laying down our color. Typically, I don't like to go against the grain, but where the holes are right here, we're going to have to go against the grain because I can't hide these holes. All right, so we're gonna take our baby wipes, grab a couple of those, and this one you're definitely gonna want gloves. So let's throw some gloves on. Okay. All right, so I am going to actually stain an ombre in the way that we're going to color, just because it's going to dry fast with these baby wipes, okay? And with going against the grain, it's going to make it a little more difficult, but it's okay, we can get it done. All right, so I'm going to grab I need to put these colors so I can see what I'm doing here. We're going to grab the blue jay first. And this is going to be the bottom of the ocean that we're doing. And if it helps you, you can always get your baby wipe a little bit more wet too. That will kind of help in the process of getting it the right way. And nice long strokes help a lot more too. All right. So then we're going to go right into our next color, which is the blue Danube. You can kind of see how they're going to start blending into each other. I'm going to grab right here. We'll even let the edges kind of blend. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit more of the blue jay that we have here at the bottom, and we're going to kind of start blending that back up in and blending back down. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to go into grabbing a little bit of our surfboard, and we'll get this area up here. Okay. kind of go straight across, kind of giving ourselves a line, and then we're going to start blending them back in. Let's go a little bit more. Okay. Lean that up just a little. Okay. I'm going to grab a little bit more. I feel like we need just to get a little bit darker down here. So you're just going to not rub as much when you want it darker. And then nice long brush strokes to kind of smooth it out. We're going to start going back into the lighter blue just a little bit here. I'm going to grab just a little bit of our blue Danube, and we're going to kind of blend these two back up to each other. We're going to get this baby white just a little bit wet. The paint's starting to kind of feel like it's tugging, which kind of means that it's drying and you're kind of pulling the paint. So you're going to wet it just a little bit. That's just going to help. I'm going to grab a little bit more of our surfboard here, and then we'll pull that back down too. Okay. And then we'll bring that back up, just like so. Alright, so mostly on this rug now, you can see that it has mostly just the tropical. So we're just going to keep continuing. And I think I'm actually going to grab a little bit of the blue jay down here at the bottom. And we're going to pull that back up in here. And then we'll go with the lake up at the top. So I'm just going to do a thin amount here. Ooh, that blends really beautifully. And then we'll go into the lake. Okay. And then lake is going to go right up here. And I forgot to do my edges, so we'll have to come back and get those. Alright. Isn't that pretty? Okay. I'm going to grab the lake again. Just add a little more up here. Nice long brush strokes. Or hand strokes. That might have sounded bad there. Whoops. Not meaning to. Alright. Kind of getting that sky and ocean feel. Or in the middle where the sun is, it's kind of nice and white, and then it goes bluer and a little bit darker. Okay. I'm going to grab a little bit more of our surfboard and blend right through here just a little more. Alright. Alrighty. Grab a little more surfboard again. Just trying to get a little more darker coverage right up here. Okay, blend that nice and good there. Alrighty. I'm going to come back in here. Like I said, I missed the edges towards here. So we'll grab some surfboard. Grab right here. Grab right here as well. Then we had the blue jay. Small piece of blue jay right through here. Okay. And then we're going to go into our lake. Let's see if I can find a decent spot. I got a little bit of paint on the edge, so I will work on blending that back in. Grab the lake here. Alright. There we go. I'm gonna throw a little bit of that blue down here. Kind of like that. Okay. I'll throw just a little bit of the lighters here. Alright. Okay, I am loving that. I'm gonna grab my gloves off here. Alright, I'll show you a closer look there, what that looks like. So you can see how pretty that is. Okay, that's all we're doing with that. Okay, maybe stay. All right, let's go back to our white here. I'm gonna do a second coat with my roller that I left over here. All right. We'll do the second coat here. I'll probably have to just beat this a little bit too, but we'll get this one down and then I'll do a quick paint. Okay, there is that. Put that down here. Alright, when I ombre and stuff like that, I don't know what it is. I just like to stand when I do that. So, let me grab our blues here. And I will throw those back for now. And then we'll ombre again with all the colors and do our letters and stuff like that. I think I just did that wrong. Yep, I did. Whoopsie. Okay. Brian, can you bring that fan? Okay. So now I'm going to throw some white down here. I'm going to just grab, this is the 5/8 brush, or it's probably, I'd say, a 1/2 inch flathead brush. Okay. We're gonna do our wave here. Okay. You can see how doing that priming really does help though, because it's making this white just go on so much better now. And I know we did 2 coats, but okay. And then right up here, kind of where it's going to die down just a little bit, and we'll do our sand here. I guess I could zoom in for you guys a little bit too. Might help. Alright. Trying to do as long a brush strokes as I can here. I will smooth it out. Nice smooth coats now. And those smooth coats make it so that Those nice, long, smooth coats just make it flow better. And look, it hides those brush marks when you can do it. Alright. Alright. So, I'm going to paint here on this edge right here. And paint up here. Okay. Oops. Here. Just getting the edges. Okay. Around here. And here. Alrighty. Almost done here. Okay. Alright. Okay. The remaining white that I have, and then I'm going to grab some surfboard. We are going to just shade the waves a little bit. And I know you're intimidated, but I actually did a couple of paint classes with very beginners, teaching them how to do shading, and they did a great, phenomenal job. So push yourself to do it. I know it looks scary, but it is so easy. So you're gonna do the one side with the blue, the one side with the white. We're gonna move it back and forth just here a little bit. It being so hot today, a medium would work really well, just to keep your brush moving. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in some of our surfboard to the edges of our waves. Okay. And when I'm talking about medium, I probably just need to get it out for myself as well. This is what I'm talking about. It's the Folk Art Floating Medium. It just kind of makes your paint last a little bit longer. It's not going to, it makes it more like liquidy. It is not going to cause it to, like, coverage to be real bad or anything like that. It just makes it flow and move a little bit better. So when we're doing these waves, it really helps with giving that flow, that nice, pretty, almost watercolor look to it, and everything else. Alright. This way. And remember, we're going to go below our sand here. And just blend that in there. I'm going to grab just a little bit of medium because that didn't flow. And it's okay to even put the medium on the wood itself and on what you've already painted. So the reason why I did that is because it just didn't seem like it kind of felt my brush was dragging a little bit through here. So I went ahead and just added it to it so I could get a better movement. And I go here, same through here. Okay. Got a little more. Okay. I'm going to take this side down as well, kind of down to the bottom here. And I'm going to kind of blend it up. So I'm almost ombreing it back up, making that flow. Alright. I'm going to kind of come back through, touch up some spots that I'm seeing where maybe our brush strokes weren't so pretty here. Alright. Now another thing that we can do too to add just a little more blue is we can pull and have extra darker spots where our blue is going to hit a little bit more. So we're going to do just a few of these right there. One right there will look good too. Okay. And then let's one that just a little more there. There we go. Okay. I got a little bit over here with the blue, so I'm just going to take a baby wipe real quick. Clean that up. Okay. Because we just made that imaginary little part where you can see the where you can see the little island there. Alright. Okay, those are done. We're going to go ahead and do our bamboo. I am actually not even going to pull this out of the bottle because it's such a little amount that we're going to use. I'm just going to use the cap here. And I'll just stick with that 5/8 or it'd probably be about a 1/2 inch needle brush or flat brush. You could definitely work with a smaller brush here. You guys know me, I hate grabbing brushes, so. Alrighty. Just gonna grab our sand here. I'm kind of almost gonna blend. There we go. And then we're gonna kind of blend that up into the tree there. I'm going to grab our edge here, which I gave myself a nice little dollop of paint to work with on my edge. There we go. Alright. Let me grab what we've got in here. Just make sure that we're nice and dry. This color does really good coverage, but every now and then you can see little spots that will pop up. So sometimes it requires more than one color. Okay. And like I said, I got a little paint here again, so the edge is getting two coats, whether it likes it or not. Alright, so next color I'm going to use is our Territorial Beige. Same thing, I am just going to use the lid here because it is literally that much that we're using, so not enough to even really pour out. Alright, so I'm going to just kind of go up right here. We're going to make our own little rounded mound here with our sand. Alright. Pull our paint up towards our pineapple here. And I'm going to kind of blend up towards here and bring that down. Our branches are our leaves are gonna pretty much cover it, but we want a little bit of it looking like it's still growing through, right? Grab this edge here, right through here. Grabbing this side, I'm gonna smooth that out, and then we're gonna grab this side over on this part. Okay. All right. Let's smooth that out. And try this real quick. I'm going to hit this with one more coat. This is where that blotchiness of our paint strokes are going to totally get hidden. That second coat. Alrighty, so blended that nicely there. Alright, so from here we're going to go into the bamboo. I've got a 3/0. Hey, I am recording. Okay, so from here we're going to go in, we're going to add little lines to our palm tree, kind of just giving a little bit. I was going to do this with the lighter brown, but I think the bamboo, just so we can save on some colors, will work perfectly fine. So just kind of random little lines, and that's just going to kind of make that tree trunk of the pineapple nice and pretty for us. Alrighty. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to go into our green next. And that is going to be the electric lime, and then I'm going to shade it with a little bit of the palomino. So this one we are going to put on our plate, even though it is little, because we have to do shading. We'll go ahead and put both on our plate. I'll even just get the palomino out since we're right here. And then, let's get this covered here. Alright, so we're going to grab over here, getting these. Alright, so we're going to just kind of grab our leaf here, and I'm going to pull the leaves just a little bit here. Alright guys, so we're going to go here. Right in here as well. Alright. Up here. Alright. Okay. The electric green definitely will need 2 coats. I'm going to go ahead and go into getting our edges done here. Smooth that out. Okay, let's go here. Oh, I forgot to grab this little edge here. Okay. here. Oh, I realize I am not in frame here. There we go. Back here as well. Okay. Alright. Right, just a little more on our edge. Now the reason why I like to do the edges during the second coat process is because it's allowing it to dry a little bit, plus we're getting some paint up there. And then like I said, I usually only just do one coat with my edges because it just needs a little color. It doesn't need to be full on bright crazy either. We're just kind of looking for coverage so that if somebody saw it, it looked like it's done, but it doesn't have to be fully done, if that makes sense. It doesn't need to be, you know, beautiful per se. Alright. And it hides if we went a little bit over. I'm going to just grab a little bit more of our green here. Okay. Alright. And then we'll go one more time here. Alright. Okay, so we got right here. Getting up in here as well. Oops, we grabbed a little bit of that palomino before it was needing to. Okay. Ooh, I love that. It looks gorgeous. Oh, dang it.
Just have to be mine, I guess.
Yup. Brian was working on some tumblers and it didn't match up all the way, but isn't that pretty? Skipped right in the back right here. Dang it. Okay. Alright, we're gonna smooth that out right there. Perfect. Alright, so now I'm gonna go into the palomino with a little bit of our green here. We'll move that back and forth. I've got a little bit of that medium that I was telling you about before. We're just gonna kind of lightly get the tips of our palm tree. And I'm kind of doing more of like a straight brush stroke. I'm not really looking to do a ton of shading here. It's just kind of pulling both of them, right? Kind of giving it depth without having to do too much. So almost like we're one stroking a little bit too. Right, there's that. Alright, bring that down in here. Palm trees, letting them kind of meet. And I'm also kind of curving it to make the leaves kind of flow that same way too. Grab just a little bit more of our green. I thought I would do straight across shading, but I'm kind of liking this look better. So we're gonna roll with it, right? Alright. And we'll go over here. That's going to give us all of those lovely leaf look for our palm tree. There. Okay. Good. I'll show you what that looks like a little bit closer here so you can see. Okay. We are done with this piece. We're going to go into now ombreing our letters. kind of almost doing like a rainbow beach color to it, like a sunset, is kind of what I was going for. And why I lined them up and tried to make sure the beach was lined up and everything else so that we could get those same colors. Okay. So use the bamboo and to cover all this back. So I don't forget. Alright. We're going to use our yellow, orange, fuchsia, definitely our electric lime, and our pansy. But I'm thinking we'll throw in our lake in there as well. Okay. Let me grab, I'll use this baby because it's pretty dry here. I'm going to just clean up what I can of our paint so we can keep using our plate. Okay. So we're going to do our bright yellow here. We'll do our orange. Fuchsia. Our electric lime. Lake here. We ran out of room for purple, but we'll get it. Okay, and our purple. That is the pansy purple. Alright. And I'm just going to use that same brush we've been using, the bigger brush. And that is, like I said, the 5/8, or I would say basically a 1/2 inch flat brush. Okay, so here we're going to start with our yellow, and I think we'll go about halfway through our eye here. I'm kind of getting the edge as I go a little bit, because the primer kind of pushes its white down, so really even if we're just covering up the white part, that's good enough for me. Okay. So we're going to go right through here with our yellow. Alright. Next color is our orange that we're going to go into, and I'm not even really going to clean the brush. I'm just going to go right straight to it. And our B is going to start going for the beach. Here. I'm kind of giving myself about a look of how far, so we're going to go to about the middle of the E with our orange. And the middle part of our B as well. Kind of cleaning up my edges as I go on these ones. When ombreing, it does make it easier. As you can see, when I was doing the base, going back kind of is a little difficult. Can be done, but mess ups happen a little bit more there. All right. So I'm just getting that a quick base coat for all of these. and then we'll come back and do the shading part. Alright. Okay, so we've got that there. Okay, so I'm going to go to that here. With our S here, and we're going to go right about there with our E. I'm always approximate. I use my fingers all the time when I'm painting. I'm like, oh, got a pinky's width. Alright. Here. That up. Okay, grab some more of our pink here. Alright, now you guys can see when I told you how nice it is to use the sponges when you're painting the letters. Because your paint flips off and it gets globby on the edges. It's a lot easier to use the sponges, but when you're ombreing, you go through about 1 million of them, which I guess is okay, but I just chose to use the brush. Don't know if that was easier or not. Okay, got that side. And we're going to go right here as well. Okay, let's smooth that out. Okay. I am going to clean my brush now because the green with the pink, it probably won't clean well enough. Okay, so go into our green here. Grabbing the edge here. Ooh, we got some paint all up there. Okay. Same here. Alright. Alright. Over here. Oop, I am like not even paying attention. I'm just going with paint. Probably should have stopped right here. Okay. I'm gonna grab this baby wipe real quick. Wipe this off just a little. I mean, we're gonna be shading it anyway, so not a big deal, but we'll go with it, right? Of this E here. There we go. Alright. Okay, let me clean out my brush again. We're going to go into our lake next, the colors. Just a little bit of the lint from the baby right there. Okay. And they start to dry out though. Sometimes get some lint off of them. Clean up the inside of the C. Come around here as well. Look at these guys here, the last little bit of our E. Here our T, nice and covered here. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now into our pansy. Pansy purple. Huge spot there. Alright, we're gonna go up. Right in here. And the last little bit of our R here. Okay. So now, like I said, since we have that base coat on, it's going to just help with blending everything in. Okay. Since we're already over on this side, I'm going to go ahead and just dry since I don't have to clean out my brush. We'll dry this side and then we'll start over because where the green and the pink are is going to be definitely where we're going to have to really look into everything. So we will just stay on this side, do this for ombre over on here, and keep going. Okay. So I'm going to pull our letters over just a little bit here. We'll get that second coat with our purple. And it does work a little bit better when your paint is a little wet to ombre. Okay. Just like so. Alright. Just a quick rinse out here. I'm going to grab our purple on one side, our blue on the other. We will move those back and forth just a touch, and right kind of where our parts are, we're going to kind of blend our colors here. So we're going to bring black and blend forward just a little. So you can kind of see that transition. Perfect. Rinse out my blue here. notice I just had a small little spot right here that I missed with some paint. A couple of little spots actually, I'm seeing. So I'm just going to touch up, just a quick touch up. Alright. And then I'm going to get right here, kind of wet. Right here as well. Okay. Rinse out our brush just a little bit. And then I'm going to grab the blue on the one side, the green on the other. Same thing, going to move them back and forth here. And I'm going to grab just a little bit of our medium. There we go. And right in the center of where we put those lines, we're going to move those back and forth. And I'm going to kind of pull one way, pull the other. Back and forth just a little bit. That's going to blend those in nice and pretty for us. Alright, that section is done. Okay, I'm going to grab our green. We'll do our second coat here as well. Same over here. Just that. I'm going to shift this back here just a little bit so our letters are on our swivel table. Our lazy Susan. Sorry, Susan. She always is like, why are you guys always picking on me? Alright. That is one thing Susan is not. Is lazy, right? Our Susan. Okay, so once again, we're going to do our green on the one side, our pink on the other. There we go. Move back and forth a little bit. I'm going to grab our medium just to kind of help pull those. We're going to go right in the middle. Here, get that nice ombre. Move this way a little bit, this way a little bit. Okay, kind of out there. Alright. And done. Okay. All right, and then here I'm gonna just start over and we'll meet where the yellow is just because these color blend so well that we don't have to clean out our brush as well. So it just makes sense to start over here on this time. So giving a second coat to our yellow here. Okay, and then I'm going to go with our yellow on one side, our orange on the other, and moving that back and forth. And then we're going to go, oops, I almost went the wrong way, right in the middle here. Bringing that towards us and away. Getting that nice pretty blend there. Okay. Then I'm going to go into our orange. We'll do a quick second coat. This orange and yellow are definitely hard for coverage with that first coat. Always want to do 2 coats usually. Almost always, I will put it. Alright. A little more here. here, okay? And now we can do the last bit of our ombreing here. I'm gonna grab our orange. Don't have too much of it. I might have to just grab a little, more than I wanted, but that will work. A little bit there. Grab our fuchsia on the other side. We're gonna ombre back and forth here. Okay. Making sure our fuchsia is towards fuchsia, orange is towards orange. We're gonna go right in that middle where we have our lines, and we're gonna kind of ombre them back and forth here. So move our orange over to the fuchsia a little bit, and then grab a little bit more fuchsia here. Orange. There we go. I had a hard time getting the pink where I wanted it to go, so now it's looking just how I wanted it. Okay, doing that, and then I noticed just on this E, we just need a little bit of a second coat here. Clean that up just a little. Throw a little bit over here too. Alright guys, how cool does that look? Isn't that pretty? I am loving it. Okay, let me pull this back. Or actually, I'll let this dry for a second. And then I'm thinking we add a little bit of glitter to the waves. I was thinking we grab the blue. Since Lori's team already named it for us, we're gonna do a little bit of ocean spray. I think I'll just add just a little bit of lines here where our waves are, and we're gonna call it good with that. Just thinking real quick, I might actually do a few little detail lines too. So let's hurry and do those detail lines real quick on this. I'm gonna grab a little bit of black here, and I'm gonna just still use that 3/0 spotter brush. Okay. And I think where our waves are, I'm gonna leave those alone. Not gonna really touch those. But where our sand is, I'll probably lay with that just a touch. Have a spectator here. Okay, we're gonna grab just a little bit, kind of do some dots here for our sand. And then we'll come up with our palm tree. Like that. Other side. We'll do just a slight little zigzag right here. Okay. And then across here, just gonna add a little bit of our lines here, just kind of giving us some depth to our palm tree. Nothing too crazy. I'm thinking maybe even a little there, just to kind of make our imaginations go which way it's gonna go. There. All right. So got that. Trying to think if I want to do these waves or not, but I'm thinking it will just look better when we do the glitter and stuff like that. I might throw some highlight on it. Okay, so we're gonna grab some white here next. And while our black is drying low, I have a straight brush here. Hold on. It's gonna drive me nuts. Okay. I'm gonna try and do it. Maybe. White's dried out just a little bit, so I'm just adding some water. Kind of rejuvenate it here. Okay. Alright, with our white here, we'll go right here. Here, I'm gonna kind of go over our black dots where our sand is, just to kind of make it a little bit smoother, not so bold. And then with our ocean and waves and that, I'm just gonna kind of add just a little bit of the white highlight, just to kind of add some flair and fun to it. Add a little extra pizzazz, I guess you could call it. I feel like if we do the black line, it will just be too harsh, that you're not going to be seeing the waves and you'll see more of the black line in this case. Okay. Alright, I'm liking that. Let's work on our palm tree real quick. I'm going to do a slight little zigzag there. Up. Just like that. Grab a little here. Just kind of with the black, I am just kind of going almost, not over the top of it, but highlighting right around it. Giving that extra depth. All right. There we go. Let's get these all added up here. Our base here. Flip this just a little bit. And this blue bottle is sealed up on me. Let me see if I got another one over here. 1 second. And of course the one I grabbed was also sealed up. Oh, I think I got it. Yep. Alright. So I'm just going to add some glue here. Trying to make sure I'm still in frame. A little bit of a glue goes a long way, just a light beating of it around the edge. And I don't go straight to the edge, I kind of go just a little bit off of it, so that way if you push it down, it doesn't squirt out of the edge. Right here, okay. Here. That's it. I'm trying to kind of put it towards where these two would line up. Make sure that we got it centered. Okay, I'm going to start pushing down here. Trying not to get all of the highlight on me. Should have dried it. Oopsie. Alright. Just push down real quick for a second. There we go. Okay. We'll give our letters a little bit more time to dry. We'll put our birds on. Just break its wing. No, okay. So I'm thinking we'll do the big bird maybe here and the little one right here, or probably like that. Kind of like that. Okay. So just like I said before, just a small bead. Okay, we'll put that one here. I got thinking I need room for my bow, so I'm going to move these birds down just a little bit so we can put the bow over here. That one here. Okay. Let's see, what's this guy? Okay. This one. Still want one right there. Maybe right here. Put the bow here. Okay. I think we'll actually do the dot here first of our eye. Okay, I'm going to put that there. And the dot for our is right here with okay. Pull our light off here, and we'll do a small bead of glue around this. Right. Line that up here. Okay. Push that one down for a sec. Okay. Next one. Okay. And this one up here. There we go. Get better here beside the R. own little piece. There. And this one up. Okay. All right. And let's do our R. Okay, push that one down here. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Line off the tape here. And be careful when you're pulling it off because these pieces are fragile. They will snap, so be careful. Okay, we're gonna make sure it kind of lines up. We want it. Okay. And then I'm gonna make sure we have room for at the part. Here, thinking we've got right here. This one, go. So it is etched up on the waves, but when you get down below, there is no etching of where to put things. So you kind of just gotta eyeball a little bit, play with it, see what looks good. Space a little bit right here. Oops. Sure, our T's kind of go over right about here, I think. Looks good. Got a little bit of paint here, or glue on our E's, so it's just wiping that off. TH hit it. Okay, kind of lining right here. There. And now we'll get the beach. Okay, lining that one here. There we go. Okay. Line that looks right here. Push. Make sure we're doing it back right here, but I think I'm going to be off a little bit because I'm not digging. There we go. That's not too bad. Okay. There we go. looks so pretty. And I'm thinking I might do just a little bit of outlining on these letters to really get them to pop and bring the whites in. So I'm going to just grab a little bit more white paint here. I got my brush, and I'm just going to kind of right through here, adding just a little bit of some white. Here and here. Just a little swoop right there where he is. And I got it down like that. Choose on there. Over here. There. And right there. Making sure how I did my baby floor here. Right there. Okay. You liking that? Alright. I just kind of made it pop. The blue was starting to blend in, and so I needed something to pull it up a little bit. Alright, you guys, I'm going to grab our Mod Podge and our glitter here. And I think my Mod Podge from my paint class did not get moved back a little bit. One side. Okay. So I'm just going to use the lid like I typically always do. Tilt my fan down because, you know, glitter and fan will not do so well. Okay. Let me grab a smaller brush here out of my Mod Podge ones. Okay. And I'm just going to make sure that our white is dry because I don't want our glitter on our letters here. These sideways-ish, and we'll grab a brush as well. Perfect. I need to take this back out just a little. Okay. So from here, we're gonna just add in just some pieces of glitter. Here, maybe one right there, and I'll go right here as well. Okay, so I'm gonna just shake on that glitter here. Okay. Let me shake that back in on our plate there. Okay. That looks so pretty. I think we're gonna grab one more right here, and here, and a little there. Okay. Shaking that on. Okay. Alrighty. Paper here. Try not to get glitter everywhere, but you know, it happens. Okay. Okay. And we'll get the other side real quick. I'm just gonna fold it. And we'll kind of go right here and here. So we'll get one right there. And here. And there. We'll finish with that. Okay. Okay. Put this over here. So, okay. Oh, isn't that pretty? Ooh, I love that. Here, let me get the glitter and I will show you guys our pretty door hanger we worked on all day. I should say all day. Okay. Set this over here. The baby wipe real quick, get the last little bit of our glitter. Okay guys, sorry about that. There we go. Isn't it pretty? I'm so excited. Looks so good. You guys all have a wonderful day or night, whatever. So weird doing the pre-recordings because I never know what to say. But make sure you create joy, spread joy, and have a wonderful day. Bye guys.